Well, this is going to be a huge news day, and we'll start off with the biggest lie that's ever been told to you by your government. I think I can say that without contradiction. The employment numbers you have been receiving during the Biden's last year in office were off by 66%. That's right. If the monthly headline number that you saw last year was 210,000, the real number was 70,000. This is truly as big a scandal as the lie about Biden's health or the use of the auto pen, probably even bigger. You can't miss by this much. And be honest, there is dishonesty in those numbers. That's what you're looking at, is a cover-up over what the Biden administration was actually seeing in the real employment numbers. Now, how about the actual impact, though? As I've been saying here for weeks, the real number that you need to look at is the unemployment number at 4.1%. Now, Rasmussen has been confirming that number. Rasmussen is 4% higher because Rasmussen counts it differently in terms of the overall numbers, but in terms of being flat and not going up. This month it went up, I think, from 7.8 to 8.1, so there was an increase, but still over the last year, that number has remained in the same range as the federal numbers when it comes to the unemployment rate. But the headline number is what everybody's been paying attention to. And the fact that the headline number has been overstated is a lie. That's just all you can call it. It isn't a mistake. It wasn't, oh, we have lousy statisticians here. It's a lie. It can't be just a mistake. The good news this morning is that there's bigger good news than there is bad news. And that is, did I say, oh, I didn't give you the final number here, 911,000. That's the write-down. 911,000 more jobs. You have to understand that we started out with about 2.7 million jobs. If you just take the original headline number each month and add it up, it's about 2.7. It was written down to about 1.7. And now with this $911,000 reduction, you're talking about under 1 million jobs, something like 800,000 jobs for the entire year. Maybe not 850. I didn't have time to go through and get the exact final number, but you're talking about maybe on the order of 80,000 jobs a month is what was being created, probably less, maybe 70,000 jobs a month. So you have a 22,000 job month this month, only 22,000 jobs created this month, which is probably wrong by 2/3. It could have been 66,000. Anyway, there you go. That's what we got right now. We have no idea. So the only number that matters right now is the unemployment rate, which is at 4.3, which is considered to be full employment, by the way. As evidence of what I'm talking about, the market didn't move at all on this news. And in fact, the last time I looked, the interest rate on the 10-year was actually up 2 basis points. So the market is saying this doesn't actually matter in terms of the economy. The economy, you'll see as we go through today, you'll see the economy is not in trouble at all. What's in trouble is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Okay, what we have last night was an announcement that is bigger, way bigger, even though it was short. They could have done so much more. They could have told us. I just don't understand why these announcements can't be done better. But this is a Tesla announcement last night with regard to the new mega blocks, and it's way, way bigger news than I think most people are thinking about. And tomorrow night, Brian Wong will be on. I got so many questions for Brian about this, but here's what we do know. Number one, Tesla unveiled the Mega Block, a pre-engineered medium voltage block for utility scale energy storage, building on the Megapack platform to balance renewables and to support grid reliability. Number two, each Mega Block is designed for 20 megawatt hours of AC capacity with a 25-year lifespan and over 10,000 cycles. Number three, it achieved 91% round-trip efficiency at medium voltage, inclusive of any auxiliary loads. Number 4, the mega block operates in extreme temperatures, ranging from negative 40 degrees Celsius to over 60 degrees Celsius, making it suitable, as they pointed out last night, for any place from, the worst areas in Alaska to the Saudi deserts. Number 5, here you go. That's a big one. Okay. How about this one now? Installation is 23% faster than previous systems with up to 40% lower construction costs. 40% lower construction costs, installation 23% faster, and it integrates a central transformer to eliminate the need for separate sourcing. And guess what? Tesla's building those transformers. Elon Musk confirmed that this morning. So Tesla's now in the transformer building business. You can imagine that transformer is going to be probably unique itself. I'd love to hear more about this new transformer. 6, the system offers high site level density of 240 megawatt hour AC per acre, including all necessary clearances for installation and service. So this is the highest density of any system out there. Number 7, Mega Block is powered by a redesigned Mega Pack 3 featuring a proven inverter. Tesla's Megapack 3 is now optimized for long duration 8-hour energy applications. So what we've been looking at is 2 hours. The Megapack 3 is going to be going up to 8 hours of duration. This is huge. All of this is huge. Now let's talk more about this. We're going to come back to the Mega Block, but let's talk about this Megapack 3. It runs on proven silicon carbide inverters and an advanced fire protection system, while a newly designed thermal bay powered by a supervised Model Y heat pump slashes complexity, 78% fewer connections to cut failure points. First principles thinking. The system also debuts larger battery modules and next generation cells, new cells, packing more energy per unit with improved safety and reliability. Tesla is scaling storage to match the grid's growing demands. We already heard that it operates 40 to 80 degrees. Went from 24 cable connections between these units, 24 cable connections, to 3 cable connections using simple busbar connectors. 75% of the mass is Megapack 3 in the battery cells. I don't know what the old number was, but 70. So you get that big, massive container, and out of that container, 75% of it is just batteries. So they've gotten rid of all kinds of mass that was being caused by other things. A single module in it weighs as much as a Cybertruck. Tesla has enabled easier front access service, so there's no roof penetration. Drastically simplified the busing system. We might have just said that. Will partly use battery cells from Tesla's new 7 gigawatt hour LFP battery facility in Nevada, which is coming on later this year, and additional cells will be sourced elsewhere. My guess is that the Megapack 3 and the new Mega Blocks not coming on until late next year is probably due to needing more cells more than anything, maybe building these new transformers. So there's huge amount of sourcing issues, which might be why they're not planning for it until late next year. Number 8, the Mega Block, we're back to the Mega Block again, incorporates the latest cell technology. Oops, we just said that. Number 9, manufacturing capacity is set to 50 gigawatt hours per year, with Megapack V version 3 production starting in Houston late 2026. Deliveries beginning in the second half of that year. Manufacturing Houston in late 2026 and deliveries beginning in the second half of that year. Okay, I guess, by the way, this is Grok, so that might have been a weird thing that Grok just said. But what it sounds like is production and delivery beginning late 2026. 10, the product is backed by Tesla's integrated software and services, including the auto bidder, demonstrated across a global operating fleet, expanding 36 gigawatt hours now across the world. And again, they'll be able to build this thing, put this thing up a full gigawatt in 20 business days. This is incredible. So many things. There's no mention whether Lathrop and Shanghai will switch to Megapack 3, so I'm curious to know about that. The three factories together now will produce approximately 10 billion in gross profits, 10 billion in gross profits, plus the power walls. So the energy division is becoming significant. Let's say with power walls, you might be looking at $11 billion a year in gross profit. That is would make the energy division of Tesla one of the largest companies in the country. �𝐚𝐤𝐚𝐢𝐥 93, a new Duke study says that the U.S. could add 900, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. This is from Sean Matthews 93. Okay. A new Duke study shows that the U.S. can add 98 gigawatts of AI data centers with no new power infrastructure needed. They just need to reduce the power, the 2 hour during peak, less than 2 hours of less than 2% of the hours per year. So just by taking these batteries, basically what they're saying, that we use a combination of on-site batteries and natural gas backup and load shifting across locations called smart workload sharing or scheduling. That combination would allow us to basically double the amount of use that we get from our existing grid. This is what Elon's been talking about all about. I'm assuming that this package, this new mega block, is a response to what Elon has been saying. And I'm curious why that has not shown up in the conversations like the one we just heard from the Secretary of Energy yesterday on the All In podcast show. All right. Holmar's blog says Tesla's actually going to start making transformers themselves. Elon says yes. Okay, so that's pretty good news after some pretty wild news in terms of the scandal of our lifetimes, maybe coming out of the last presidential term, which is just one more horrific scandal. This is Randy Kirk. Please hit like, subscribe, notify, all that stuff. Join Patreon if you don't mind. The average rate on a 30-year mortgage, are you ready? This is more good news now. Here we go. The average rate on a 30-year mortgage fell to the lowest level in nearly a year, 6.28% this morning. I looked it up, which surveys, this is from Mortgage News Daily. Roughly a week ago on September 2nd, the 30-year rate was 6.53, so we're down 25 basis points in just a week. The 30-year was last this low in October of 2024. This will definitely stimulate some home purchases as we are almost out of the normal season, but the season will get an extension because this, I think, will be in the fives. Maybe even this week, maybe next week will be in the fives. The NFIB Small Business Optimism Index. Now, I'm going to spend a lot of time on this NFIB Small Business Optimism Index this morning because there's a lot of really, really important data in here. So it went up 5 points in August. The optimism increased by 5 points to 100.8. This is nearly 3 points above the 52-year average. So this is showing these small businesses are more optimistic than usual, and it was only expected to go up 3, and it went up 5. Of the 10 optimism index components, 4 increased, 4 decreased, and 2 were unchanged. The increase in those expecting real sales to be higher contributed the most. So this is really important. Sales going up. The uncertainty index fell, though, by 4 points to 93, but remained well above historical averages. The decline was due to decrease in uncertainty about financing expectations and planned capital expenditures. So they're probably looking at these tax advantages coming out of the big beautiful bill and go, man, I need to buy some capital goods, but I need to get those financed. And that's the big question. Do I pay the high rates right now in order to get this done? So I think that's what they're talking about here. Optimism increased slightly in August with more owners reporting stronger sales expectations and improved earnings, according to Chief Economist Bill Dunkelberg from the NFIB. While owners have cited an improvement in overall business health, labor quality remained the top issue on mainstream. Okay, so when you're talking about labor being a problem, in other words, people not being able to find jobs, How come small business owners, 60% of the economy, small business owners, number one complaint is they can't find the labor they need. Key findings included in August, there was a notable improvement in overall business health. When asked to rate their overall health of the business, 14% reported excellent. That was up a point. 54 reported good. That was up 2 points. 27% reported the health of their business as fair. That's down 4 points. And 4% reported poor, unchanged. So very, very good numbers there. The percent of small business owners reporting labor quality remained at 21% as the top concern. In August, 32% of all owners reported job openings they could not fill. 1/3 of all small businesses had job openings they could not fill. The last time job openings fell below 32% was in July of 2020. This has been an ongoing problem. The net percent of owners expecting higher real sales volumes rose 6% from July to a net 12% seasonally adjusted. A net 0% seasonally adjusted of owners viewed current inventory stocks as too low. So they're looking at the inventory as being just about right. The net percent of owners raising average selling prices fell 3 points from July to a net 21%. The frequency of reports of positive profit trends improved 3 points. In August, the average rate paid on short maturity loans was 8.1%, down 0.6 points from July, and the lowest reading since May of 2023. May of 2023, over 2 years ago. So they're getting better and better interest rates. 23% of owners reported borrowing on a regular basis. That was down 2 points from July, so they're not needing to borrow. The last time the percent of business owners borrowing on a regular basis was below 23 was November of 2021. So these businesses are in good financial shape. Of the 53% of owners hiring or trying to hire in August, 81% reported 81% reported few or no qualified applicants for the positions they were trying to fill. 26% of owners reported few qualified applicants for their positions, down 3 points. 17% reported that they had none. I did a search when I finished reading this report, I did a search on the report for the word tariff in the report. 0. It was not mentioned in the report at all. Not a mention of the word tariffs. How significant is that? Worthy of note, this is new story. Worthy of note, the Supreme Court of the United States has overturned 17 straight lower court rulings that were efforts by the left to undermine Trump's legal constitutional efforts. In other words, the Trump administration has been following the law, and the left has been attempting to subvert the Constitution using activist judges that shouldn't be empowered to destroy democracy. How do we get rid of these radical, crazy judges? 1.99, that was the overnight CPI. 1.85, that's the year-over-year CPI, according to Truflation, and the PCE number, year-over-year, 2.19. I don't think we've got an inflation problem. President of the United States right now at 48%, and the GDP at 3.0. We'll get a revision on that a couple of days from now. I forget exactly which day. All right, now, having said all of that, what has happened with the markets this morning? So let's start off, as we do, with Tesla, which is up 0.18%. It has been above and below the line this morning. It has been much higher than that. It's at 347 right now. The market itself has not reacted at all to any of that. Nothing. It's as flat as a pancake. They're interested they don't even care about the PPI tomorrow. All they're looking at is that CPI on Thursday. That's what their focus is, all on that CPI on Thursday. All three markets. So we got the S&P is up 0.00. The Tesla is now up 0.00, and the Dow is down 0.5. I'm sorry, 0.05. Anyway, it couldn't be any flatter if it tried right now. Tesla has now poked its nose up into the green again a tiny, tiny bit. You've got the Magnificent Seven mixed. The only one that's moving very much at all, Google is up almost a full percent, and Meta is down almost a little more than a full percent. The VIX is up tiny bit this morning, but it's been all over the place. But it's at 1537. That is risk on. And you're basically looking at all of the markets being very close to all-time highs, if not at all-time highs. Okay, then we go on down to the Cathie Woods, which are now all down this morning. I'm not 100% sure why that would be. Again, I did mention the last time I looked, we had a small increase in the 10-year. Yeah, it's up 3 basis points to 4.076. That is definitely going in the wrong direction, but it's not crazy nuts. So I don't know why Cathie Woods are all down. Okay, we've got the oil number this morning is up $1, 63.27. Natural gas up 0.39 at $3.10. All of that within normal stuff. Oil, again, people are talking about not getting as much out of OPEC as they thought they were going to. Gold is up $14 this morning. I'm assuming that's an all-time high without looking. I believe it is. Silver is down a little bit again, a whole full percent to 41.48. Copper down tiny bit, 0.03%. You have got the dollar slipping a little. No, I'm sorry. The dollar is actually up. I looked at the headline instead of the numbers. The dollar's up a little bit this morning. Bitcoin down 288, 111.8. Very close, very, very narrow range recently. And Ether is up 0.01, barely moving today. All right, so those are the numbers. Later on today, you will have a very normal day, 2 days in a row, normal days. You've got Nicholas Gibbs at probably exactly 5:15, so almost California time, and then Brian White, 7:45. Last night, 16 of you watched Brian White's show with me. It's crazy. Okay, it's more than 16, but it was really low. Now, it could have been, a great Monday night football game. Holy mackerel, what a great game. So maybe you're watching the game and you never got around to watching that. Well, guess what? That was a really, really good show where he and I talked about trying to get inside Elon Musk's brain right now with regard to what we could see from the employment package and also from the Master Plan 4, taking those together and adding in some more stuff. What do we think Elon's really thinking about where we're going right now? I thought it was a really good show. I'm not sure why nobody watched it. I'm putting the card up right here because you should go back and check it. Now, on the other hand, Larry Goldberg got huge numbers all during the game. So I don't know what's going on here. But if you didn't watch Larry Goldberg, everybody seemed to really go crazy on that one. So I'll put the card up there too. Depends on whether you want to watch the one that everybody watched or the one that nobody watched that I thought was great. Well, okay, Larry and I, we did great too, but all right. What else do I? That's all. I think that's all. Well, yeah, I don't think there's going to be any movement. I think the stock, Tesla and the rest of the market are going nowhere today. Tesla is now down 0.41%, and the market is still flat. So it's going to be flat around break even today. There's not going to be, probably tomorrow too, not much action. All right. That's all I got for you. It's been great, as always, talking to you.